Assalamualaikum and good morning to Dr. Zahariah. Today, my name is Siti Nur Elida binti Muhammad Nordin. I would like to present about my topic, which is journal article, the impact of COVID-19 associated behaviors and policies on the UK economy. So, for the introduction, due to pandemic, there are multiple direct and indirect channels whereby COVID-19 could affect the UK economy. Infectious disease outbreaks have impact on labor supply and productivity across sectors through the reduction in work time of workers who are infected or time losses by carers. However, although the disease and policy scenario were considered somewhat extreme when they were first published, they are likely to fall for a far short of the impact of the national instructions and regulations concerning social distancing, which are currently being applied in the UK for COVID-19. For the issues, there are four issues. The first issue is direct health-related time losses of employed COVID patients are enforced on the model as economy-wide reduction in labor supply. The second issue is business closures can be mirrored by reduction in labor and capital supply in specific sectors. Third, accompanying health sector costs are imposed on the government budget. And the last issue is school closure can be simulated as economy-wide reduction in labor supply by those who care for dependent children. So we go through to the implication. The first implication is direct health-related economic burden. The large health-related impact on GDP is mainly attributable to health-related labor supply losses of 38.9 billion pounds. The vast majority of these economic losses are due to work absence from non-hospitalized cases, which is not surprising since nearly 70% of symptomatic COVID-19 cases are assumed to occur in working-age individuals who will not require hospitalization. The economic cost of hospitalized but recovered patients on GDP is estimated to be 4.7 billion pounds, while the economic cost of labor from fatalities in the labor force amount to 2.8 billion pounds. In practice, these health-related costs cannot be isolated from the broader indirect economic impacts and do not capture the substantial loss of life which occur from the 358,000 deaths that are assumed to occur outside the workforce. The second implication is mitigation scenario economic burden. The change in the health-related economic burden derived from an increased loss of labor under the mitigation strategy compared with the direct health-related burden simulation. So under the mitigation, the number of working-age deaths reduced, decreasing the economic losses due to fatalities from 2.8 billion pounds at baseline to 2.0 billion pounds. So the economic burden from the mitigation scenario is dominated by the non-health related policy impacts which total 264.1 billion pounds, or we can call it 11.4% of GDP. So these costs include labor supply reduction attributed to 12 weeks of school closure, which 66.1 billion, which by itself exceeds the direct health-related budget. So domestic business closure in non-essential sectors actually is the largest single contributor at 0.9 billion pounds, or 8.8% of GDP. And this includes substantial losses for recreation services and restaurants. For the third implication is separation scenario economic burden. This is almost one-third of UK GDP for the year of 2020, and it includes a private household welfare loss of 30% of, or 450 billion pounds. A reduction in government consumption of 73.4 billion pounds, or 16.7%, is also estimated. So the direct health-related macroeconomic burden of 51.4 billion pounds contribute just 8% of the total economic impact and is slightly smaller than the equivalent impact for the mitigation scenario. Therefore, the health-related economic impacts for hospitalized fatalities for suppression are smaller than for mitigation, but economic impacts for recovered hospitalizations increased slightly from 4.9 billion pounds for mitigation to 5.2 billion pounds for suppression. For the conclusion, COVID-19 has the potential to impose unprecedented economic impacts on the UK economy, and those impacts are likely to be dominated by the indirect costs of mitigation or suppression of the pandemic. Therefore, although priority should be given to policies which delay and flatten the pandemic peak by mitigating the spread of the disease, estimates indicate that the duration of mitigation of suppression policies are key to determining their economic impact. So that's all from me. Thank you.